Birds of a Feather does a pretty good job of humanizing the Penguin character. His seemingly sincere attempt at reform is the focus of the episode, and I'd say it's one of the better stories in the series that featured Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot. There are some allusions to Batman Returns in both the visuals and themes that made it a nice companion piece to the villain's portrayal in that movie as well. After serving his latest sentence in prison, Penguin is determined to be a good little bird and change his criminal ways. Batman makes it clear he's watching him closely as Oswald gets involved with Gotham socialite Veronica Vreeland. Vreeland and her fellow Blue Blood Pierce are looking to increase their status among the city's elite and concoct a plan to invite Penguin to Veronica's next party. Veronica starts dating Cobblepot in public to gain his trust, with the aim of making a fool of him at her big gathering. All the while, Penguin is genuinely making an attempt at reform as he mingles with the upper class and romantically falls for Vreeland. This episode was directed by Frank Parr, who helmed a ton of others across the series, ranging from Tiger Tiger to A Bullet for Bullock. This also wasn't the first time he directed a Penguin story. He has the credit for I've Got Batman in My Basement, which has gotten shellacked over the years, but I actually didn't mind all that much. This definitely takes a deeper step into the Penguin character, though. The story was written by the late Chuck Menville, and the teleplay was penned by Bryn Stevens. Stevens is responsible for a few other memorable scripts, including both parts of Heart of Steel and Batgirl's introduction in Shadow of the Bat, parts 1 and 2. This was also the last piece written for television by the prolific Menville, as he passed away before this episode aired. I really like the concept behind Birds of a Feather. Seeing Penguin trying his best to stop his dastardly habits in favor of joining Gotham's elite is a theme that works well here. We're following him through most of the episode as the sympathy builds up. He's being taken advantage of by Veronica and is constantly mocked behind his back. Even Batman has a tough time believing Cobblepot's turned over a new leaf. There's a scene where Penguin defends Veronica from a group of muggers, and the Dark Knight jumps into the fray, thinking Penguin was leading them. This contributes to Veronica's conscience rearing its head as she starts to feel sorry for Oswald. He legitimately defended her, and while she may not like everything about him, she starts to realize he isn't all bad, and maybe more than just a flamboyant criminal. Unlike many of Batman's villains, the Penguin isn't really insane. He's never sent to Arkham or anything like that, but he does have a severe inferiority complex that he makes up for by his vocabulary and self-described impeccable taste. Penguin's physical deformities are rarely focused on by this series, but in this episode, he is shown to be ridiculed for them by Pierce and his friends. While he may have given in to his bad impulses eventually, Cobblepot might have left his criminal past behind him if he was given a fair shake at a second chance. That's sort of the underplayed tragedy of this story. It's not nearly as emotional as other episodes with empathetic antagonists, and I do think they could have gone even further in that area here, but it is successful at portraying a character we've seen multiple times at this point to have a deeper layer.
Please, Oswald, if it's money you want, I can get you more.
Shut up! All I wanted from you, dearie, was a little friendship. That would have cost you nothing.
This is a part of Penguin's character arc in Batman Returns. Max Schreck tries to bring him back into high society after his parents attempted to kill him off as an infant. There's obviously more to the story, but Veronica and Pierce are in the Max position in Birds of a Feather. However, Penguin isn't trying to kill any kids in this episode, so it's a tad easier to root for him. The comparisons don't end there, though. Penguin's design was modeled after the Danny DeVito version in Returns, and we even see the big yellow duck show up here. Cobblepot using the sewers as his means of taking revenge also points to more aesthetic similarities. Veronica Vreeland makes her first appearance, and she's an interesting character. She's not quite as vain as most of her peers, and is someone Bruce obviously cares for. They run in the same social circles, and we get to see them interact multiple times across the series. She later has run-ins with the likes of Catwoman, the Mad Hatter, Harley Quinn, and more. Just about anyone could see where this story was going, but predictability doesn't drag Birds of a Feather down. Like I mentioned, they could have made Penguin even more sympathetic, and I really missed a little Bruce or Batman scene at the end that tied things up with Veronica, while also admitting he should have given Oswald more of the benefit of the doubt, but the way the story is works just fine. I'd recommend it as one of, if not, the best Penguin-centric episodes in Batman the Animated Series.
Maybe the rumors of your reform are not exaggerated.
Anything's possible when love is involved.